Hey, welcome to the second last of our 12 orientation videos. These last two videos could very well be the most important ones of them all. So I really want you to focus in here on these last two videos and just stay dialed in. Here's the deal. If you're part of Team Victory, then we need you and you matter. You're so important. You're part of the team. If you attend Victory Church, you're part of the team. So this is what I need you to do for this last one. I want to talk to you about 3 things you can do every day as part of Team Victory. Okay? So every day of your life, every day in Moose Jaw, every day in your community, wherever you live, do these 3 things every day and it'll help you be an effective member of Team Victory. So ready for them? Here they are. Invest in yourself, invest in others, and invite others. Okay, so those 3 things. Now, let me go through them. Number 1, every single day, invest in yourself. That is, invest in your walk with God and invest in your growth as a person and as a leader. Jesus grew, it says in Luke 2:52, Jesus grew in wisdom, in stature, in favor with God, in his relationship with the Lord, and in favor with man, in his ability to deal with people well. Jesus grew, and because of his growth, he was able to then invest in others and be a blessing to others. So here's the deal. When you're freshly investing in your own walk with God, freshly investing in your own growth, then you're freshly alive and engaged in wanting to invest in others. You can't give what you don't have. So you have to increase in your own self so that you can be a blessing to others. You have to have something if you're going to give to others. So number 1, every single day, invest in yourself. Invest in your own walk with God and invest in your own growth as a person, as a leader, so on. And you'll multiply your impact as a member of Team Victory. So number 1, every day, invest in yourself. Number 2, every day, invest in others. Everywhere you go, this is my prayer, that every single interaction you have, you would be a blessing. I pray this prayer over myself all the time. I pray it over you as a church quite regularly. Lord, every time I meet anyone for any reason, let me be a blessing. Let every interaction I have with every person be a blessing to them. I pray this over my kids. Many times I'm praying for them at the beginning of a day or at night, and I just say, Lord, let tomorrow, or if it's the beginning of the day, let today, let every interaction they have, let them be a blessing. Here, listen, by far the greatest impact we will have as a church is every single interaction we have every day. Whether that's with our spouse, with a friend, with one of our kids, with a classmate, with a coworker, at a grocery store, at a coffee shop. Every interaction you have with every human being, every person you walk by on the sidewalk, those are the interactions. Listen, let me put it this way. People's experience of you every day is their experience of our church. Full stop, period, done. Mic drop. Boom. Okay? No, listen, people's experiences of you is their experience of our church. Okay? Because you are the church, right? We don't go to church. We are the church, right? And the church doesn't exist for us. We're the church, so we exist for the world. So when people experience you, they're experiencing our church. And that just means you have to ask yourself, just pray, God, let every interaction I have, let me be a blessing. Let me invest in others. So I'm going to invest in myself every day. I'm going to invest in others every day. And then the last thing is invite. And we say this as a church. Our strategy for reaching new people is that all of our people, 100% of us, invest and invite. Invest and invite. We build relationships with people and then we invite them. You say, well, what do I invite them to? Invite them to church, invite them to a service and say, this is where I go on Sundays. Would you like to come with me? Invite them into a spiritual conversation. Hey, what do you think about God? Let them know what you're doing on the weekend or what you did on the weekend and encourage them to come out and check it out. And it often takes a number of invitations before a person actually shows up, but tell them you'll sit with them. Tell them you'll give them a ride if you want. Tell them you'll meet them there, that kind of thing. But just 7 or 8 invitations to a person. And the vast majority of people say that the reason they came to church is because a friend invited them. A friend, not necessarily a total stranger, but somebody they knew, somebody they connected with. I mean, I tell you, when I'm getting a haircut, I always tell the person cutting my hair, you should come sometime. It's amazing. It's such an awesome experience, and they ask me what I do or whatever. I'm like, I go to this church, and they're like, what's it like? And I'm like, it's awesome. You ought to come. That's my first invitation. And by the 7th or 8th invitation, they usually will show up. So there you go. There's my 3 things you can do every day as part of Team Victory. Invest in yourself, invest in others, and then invite. Quick story. There was a young lady in Moose Jaw who I saw actually on a Discover Moose Jaw article. And so I asked some people about her. I said, "Do you know this girl?" And they said, yeah, we know her. I said, "Well, invite her to church." And so they did. And then I asked them about her a few weeks later. And I said, "Get some other people to invite her to church." So they did that. And then we kind of all connected. And then I saw her at a grocery store. And I said, "Hey, I've heard about you. Actually, I have friends who've invited you to our church." And she said, "Oh, yeah. And then I saw her again a few months later, invited her again. And it was that Sunday that she showed. It was probably the 10th invitation she had. But she finally came to church, and that Sunday she gave her heart to Christ. So you never, ever know, right, what your invitation is going to do. Thanks for being a part of Team Victory.